Welcome to Indie Beacon Radio, where creative souls can find help in marketing their creations. You can send questions for each show on Twitter using the hashtag IndieBeacon. Now sit back and enjoy learning about our guest for this show.
And welcome to another episode of Indie Beacon Radio. This is your host, B Alan Bourgeois, and I am here with Anna, who has recently written a book. But let's start off with your last name because it's not an easy one, so I'm going to let you pronounce it.
Okay. My name is Anna Bauereis.
I would have messed that up completely, so I'm glad you said that. Welcome, Anna. We're glad you're here. So your book is based off of your son. Is that correct?
Yeah.
And he was a ballet dancer. So explain what the book is about and why you chose to write it.
So my son was a ballet dancer, and when he was younger, he was bullied a lot. And as he got older and he started understanding that he had a beautiful gift and talent, he just decided, forget it, I'm good at this. And as a parent, I was watching him on this journey and having a lot of discussions with him and involving our community and our neighbors in ballet. And he started getting friends little by little. In June of 2016, our son was killed. He was struck by a car while he was walking a friend home from our house. And about a week later, I found a poem inside of his Bible. And I knew I wanted to turn it into a children's book because the words were just so beautiful. And it is about a young man leaving the reality of the negativity in the dance world, going into a garden and finding friends to learn to dance and to dance with him. And we've put a lot of work into the book where we have symbolisms from people here in our community who've been involved in the book, his life. And we were just so grateful that everyone came alongside. And my real hope is that this book is going to be a launching pad for discussion about bullying. How, as a parent, can we start having those discussions and talking about feelings and seeing it is very negative, but there is a beautiful side of the gifts and talents that one is given. And so that's my hope for this book, to be that launching pad.
And you use the word launching pad because the impression I have is that you have more to write about, other books. Is that correct?
Yes. So this book in particular is a children's picture book. And so it's for littles, probably up to the age 5. And then we have some coloring pages we've created, some word finds we've created. And the next book that's going to be coming out is going to be a journal book. We're going to have the artwork a little more matured for a little more mature audience so that children can start processing some of those feelings and sharing those with their parents, or maybe not sharing them with their parents, putting them in the book, but just asking themselves, what passion and what love, why am I doing this? And helping them grow in their vocabulary, their understanding of who they are, and what makes them special in doing whatever that talent is. Gymnastics, band, soccer, girls in football. It could be just the things that are on the edge that a lot of children are bullied in. And so we want kids to grow up into who they are. And that's what my hope is. Then we'll have another book that's going to be more of photographs, not the artwork that we're using in these younger books, for journals for adults, probably college on up. So that's the big plan.
Great. And I'm interested in the book, the first one that you have in your hand. You actually talk about your son being colorblind. So is there a story there that may be developed?
So my son was colorblind. We have no idea what color he saw. But his favorite color was like fuchsia, magenta pink. It was very pink. And it was like, wait a minute, what is this? Not many guys like pink because there's that stigmatism that goes with that. But he was colorblind. And that right there is just kind of another lesson. You don't know that there's something behind somebody's choice. For my son, he was colorblind. And it turns out that 1 in 4 males are colorblind. He was bullied because he liked the color pink.
I was wondering if this colorblind aspect did relate to being bullied and stuff, because I'm sure many kids, especially when they're being taught colors, he was missing a lot of that, and that probably lended to that bullying aspect as well as his dancing. Is that somewhat accurate?
Well, you know what's interesting about these young people who are colorblind? They pick up around the people around them. And so we don't know what color someone sees when they're colorblind. But if you're sitting with a group of people, he would ask somebody, could you hand me the red crayon? And someone would give it to them. So that's compensation that a lot of children use and have. And we seriously did not know that he was colorblind, red-green colorblind, until he was in 2nd grade, and we took him to the eye doctor, and they said, your child is very colorblind, because they compensate. So, I mean, they're super smart. They can do those, compensations, but they do that with all kids do those kinds of things. They're learning from us. So, but yeah, knowing that there's something behind somebody's choice. And that's another thing I'd really like to push forward. My son was a male ballet dancer, and some people are like, oh, he's gay, that's a stigmatism. And it's like, no, he wasn't. He had a couple of girlfriends. Mom knows what's going on here. But so what if he was? That's who he was and how he was. Let's love people for who they are and how they are.
Your background is not in writing, especially for children's books and stuff, but you have a mentalist type of background. Give it a real quick synopsis of what that background is.
So I went to school to be a social worker, and started having children and homeschooling children, and started working with Dr. Malillo and learned about brain balance. My son had Asperger's and sensory processing disorder, and we went through brain balance, and he no longer carried those labels at all. And so now I own a couple of brain balances, and I work with families that have children that have ADD, dyslexia, autism, Asperger's, Tourette's. And we're really starting to work now with some of these kids who are in sports, because they are getting better in baseball, in soccer, in basketball. So, we just work with a wide variety of families who want high-achieving children, or they just want their children to not have issues and struggles in schools. So I've been doing that now for 10 years. And this book was any type of authorship was the furthest thing from my mind. When I started this project, I was told it would take 12 to 18 months. And this was a fire hydrant of an issue. We started May 18th. We had everything to the printer by July 1st. And the book release party was October 26th. So I've discovered that I'm a woman who means business. This is what we want to do. Let's get it done and do it.
So with that in mind, when is the next book estimated to come out?
Okay, so I am truly going to take my time this time. I'm going to take that 12 to 18 months. The questions that we have for the journal book are the questions my son was asked in the movie that he had done about being bullied. It's a documentary, and beautifully done. And I need to take a little bit more time. I'm going to get more input from the dance community on the artwork that's used, because it needs to be more mature dancers. It needs to be more accurate in stature and poses. And so that's something that I really need to pay attention to in this next book, where this children's book, it is beautifully done. And it is a young dancer. It is not a mature dancer. So it's going to take me a little bit longer to do the next book, but it'd be really cool to have it out next Christmas.
All right. So that's the target market is for next holiday, which is good. That's 2020. That
Yes.
works really well. With these books that are coming out, I assume you're going to be going into a speaking career.
I think so. So far, I've had a couple of libraries contact me, and they'd like me to come in and share the book and share the story behind the book and visit with parents about starting those conversations of emotions and feelings and what bullying looks like and how to protect their hearts is what the goal is for the talks that I'm doing right now. Bullying, it goes on even in adult workplaces. I mean, it is amazing how much bullying there is. And so a couple of businesses have reached out to me and asked me to come and speak, not with the book, but just on the topic of bullying.
Well, it's a shame they don't want the book there, because I'm sure a lot of those people would have children that this would be a good thing for them to take home and live with.
Yes, I am taking the book with me because my belief is it starts at home. Not necessarily the bullying, no, but the conversation about proper behavior, about what bullying is and what you can do about being bullied. It starts at home. Start it at home and then launch it out. And also, it makes the adults look at bullying very differently in their workplaces as well.
Now, we only have about a minute left, so I'm kind of curious. Have you sent a copy to Melania Trump?
I have not sent one. I will. Thank you for telling me that. I sent, Laura Spencer has gotten a copy. I have not heard back from her. The person who, Dave Ramsey Conference is really what made me push through on doing this book and the timing in which I did it. And I sent him a book, and I've sent a couple of books here and there, and it's been very well received.
Great. Well, this is a perfect spot for us to take a break. When we come back, we'll talk about the movie your son was in and a few other things, and we'll be right back.
What started as a love letter to her son has become an international love letter for all parents to their children. Now you can read acclaimed author Shanalee Charbonneau's story to your children. When her son was very sick, she calmed him by singing her own song to him. She turned that song into the book, My Mama Loves Me, I'm Her Little Boy. She wrote 3 more magical books for all parents and kids 6 and under. Available at Indie Lecter, Amazon, and all local and national outlets.
Hello, I am the author and poet Denise Bryson. I am the author of The Things That Cross My Mind, Love's Reality, both in book and audio form. I am also noted as one of the best poets of 2011. I have 2 new projects coming up. One is the Blinky series, where Blinky tells us all about our coins and our bills for our children. I also have a book coming out called Say Ye. It's quotes from Denise Bryson, just inspirational and that will help you along the way.
Thank you for watching or listening to this show. Indie Lecter is proud to sponsor this programming. As a thank you for listening or watching, we would like to give you a 10% coupon code that you can use on our bookstore at indielecter.store. Use coupon code VIDEO19. Again, that's indielector.store, coupon code video19 for a 10% discount on any purchase. Thank you.
Welcome back to Indie Beacon Radio. Don't forget to like us, follow.
And welcome back to Radio. This is your host, B Alan Bourgeois. And we have Anna here, and I'm not going to massacre her last name, but it is on the screen for you. Anna, you mentioned that your son was in a movie, a documentary, and it's called Dancer. What is that?
2 weeks before Alexei's passing, he was interviewed for a documentary about male ballet dancers being bullied. And so we went to Dallas, and he was interviewed there. And I did not think they were going to use him in the movie because he did not answer the question with the question in the answer didn't have the question in it. And so I had called the director, Scott Bromley, and talked with him. And I said, I want to thank you for allowing me to be in the room for the interview, because I could hear how my son was still being bullied, and I could also hear how he was handling it. So as a parent, I was like, I've been asking these questions, but I wasn't hearing all the responses that he had. And when a man was asking a man, the answer was very clear and very different. And so I thanked them for allowing me to be in the room. I understood they probably wouldn't use him. And we have been very surprised. I bought the rights to the movie, and I watched it for the very first time, start to finish, October 26th of this year. And my son was in that movie quite a bit. The answers to Alexei's questions were the same as a male dancer who's been dancing who's 37 years old, a male dancer who was in college, a male dancer who was in high school. All of these men had the same answers that Alexei had. And so they used him in the movie quite a bit, and they also dedicated the movie to Alexei.
Well, that's really nice. And you said you bought the rights to it, so I assume you're going to be using it as part of the education process?
I can. I haven't yet. It was just released here in Austin, October 26th, for a showing here. So I haven't taken it or gone anyplace else with it, but I do have that ability that I can.
Okay. Now, you had mentioned that you are going to be doing older, I'm assuming middle school type of book, and then one for college kids and stuff of that nature. What about, you mentioned doing speaking engagements for workplaces. Are you going to do a specific book for that type as well?
When I get a little more grounded in my education, I believe that adults who've been bullied all their life, some do not realize that they are being bullied. And there's certain wording that you need to use to kind of hit home, because there's no reason of wasting anybody's time. And so I'm working on developing it while I'm developing the knowledge I already have. It's just putting it all in place. The adult book is going to be a total different mindset. That has to be, so I need a little more time for that. So let's get through elementary school, junior high and high school and college. So I say I'm going to take my time doing it like that, but the way things have worked out, it might be the bigger picture first.
So let's go back a moment to the littler picture, when we're referring to the kids, because you deal with these kids on a regular basis through your business and stuff. So I'm curious, have you found a correlation between those kids that may not be doing well education-wise with them being bullied or them being the bullies?
Right. So a couple of years ago, we worked with a 12-year-old young man, and he was bullied at school all the time. And he lived in North Austin, and he came through the Brain Balance program. And at the end of the program, he had self-awareness that he was actually the bully, and people were just reacting to him. And so their family chose to move to a total another school district, and so he could start over, because he had been the bully since kindergarten, and here he was in 8th grade. So they went, after going through brain balance, he actually went to another school district and has done phenomenal since. A lot of children, you know, kids are kind of insecure. Let's get honest. Remember junior high and high school? Boy, those years sucked. Well, if you don't read at the same speed as others, if you don't write like others do, or if you don't have things that others have, somebody is going to get picked on. That's just what they do. I feel blessed that I was able to walk with my children and help them build up their esteem and who they are and who they were at that age and stage in life, so that they could stand up and hold themselves high. And like my son Alexei said one time, he said, I'm good at this. I get scholarships because I'm good at this. Blow those other people off. Every child has something that they are phenomenal at. Let's help them see it for themselves and gain that confidence, because just a little tiny difference is going to make a world of difference in a child's life. And just think, if they have that esteem at a young level, they take it up through the next level of life and the next level of life. And pretty soon they can tell people, hey, bug off. I don't care. You know?
Yeah, I fully understand and agree with that. So that's good to see that. It's going to be interesting as you're going through the research and developing the other courses, being able to take kids along with you as the books are done and stuff, so that they have something to continue to grow with as well and stuff.
Yes.
That should be quite interesting to see how that plays out and stuff. We've got about 2 minutes left, and what was your experience at the book release party, which was also a movie release party? What kind of response did you get from the audience?
Well, almost towards the very, very end of the movie, I was like, oh my gosh, I have so much more to say. I wish I would have watched the movie and then been able to say it at the end, have it planned. And so I did say a couple of more words. The movie was so educational and so point on, and the statistics that were in the movie, the producer did a phenomenal job, and everyone there was in shock and awe at the young man, all the young men who were in this movie, what they had experienced and gone through, and they just never knew. They never knew that this was going on, the audience. And they had said that they would like to be involved to help make a change in our community moving forward. So that was a big hit.
That's very good. And I'm sure a lot of people will be working with you and help developing more things for that. So we're at a point where we step away and let the sponsors do their thing, and we'll be right back.
What would you do if you had to put your life on hold to care for a loved one? I'm Charlotte Kenyon, award-winning author of the book, You Have to Laugh to Keep from Crying, How to Parent Your Parents. That was a question I had to ask myself some 16 years ago, and you'll have to ask the same question. I had a father-in-law with dementia, a mother with Alzheimer's, and a dad with Parkinson, all at the same time.
What would you do if you found out everyone on the town council were thieves and murderers? That's what happened in Bandera, Texas in 1873. John Cruder was the marshal, yet he needed to operate outside the law in order to balance the scales of justice. He is the Midnight Marauder. You can find his books on Amazon.com and TopWesterns.com in paperback, digital, and audio. I'm Roy Clinton, and I hope you'll read The Midnight Marauder.
Welcome back to Indie Beacon Radio. Don't forget to like us, follow us, or subscribe to one of our many channels. Now, here is your host for today's show.
All right. And welcome back to Indie Beacon Radio. This is your host, B Alan Bourgeois, and I'm with Anna here, who has written a children's book entitled The Things We Wish to Say. And it's about bullying and in reference to her son, who was Alexi, who was a dancer and things of this nature. So let's give the audience a chance to find out, first off, where you're going to be in the near future. Is it on your website where they can see your calendar and stuff?
Yes, my website is annabauereis.com, and there is a calendar there, and it'll start listing where we're going to be. You can purchase the book from the website as well. I do have a author's Facebook page, which is Anna Bauereis Author, and the last name spelling is Bauereis, as in Sam. And I would love to have everybody come to the Facebook page, to the website, start following where we're going and what we're doing, and look who our sponsors are for the different things that we're going to be doing. I think that's really important, that you know who is behind this, the companies that are supporting it, individuals who will be supporting it. We'll start listing all that information on there.
Great. And what about the movie? Where can people watch that?
Dansar has its website. There is a link on my website to it, so you can find it there. I am not planning another movie viewing right now, maybe after the first of the year. If someone would like to contact me and we work something out and they want to partner with me on doing that, that would be fabulous, because the movie needs to be seen everywhere.
Okay. And as far as other social media, you have Facebook and, of course, your website. Do you have any other social media?
Not right now, I don't. I am developing education.
All right. So with the experience of doing the book, and especially as fast as you did it, what words of advice do you have for someone who wants to write a book, or whether it be children's or fiction or whatever?
Well, the first thing I do is hook up with Alan, because Alan's got some resources. And get a mentor. I had Channelie Charbonneau, who walked alongside me and encouraged me and gave me places to go look and to go find. But going on to Alan's website, I found a lot of information there and a lot of guidance. And so just keep digging, asking questions, and somebody will walk alongside you. And also the conference that you did, Alan, in San Antonio was phenomenal. It just really answered questions I didn't even know to ask. So I would encourage people to do that.
Okay, well, I appreciate that little plug there. We are at the end of the show, and I do want to thank you for your time. Again, her book is available on Amazon, of course, and on her website, which is on the screen, so definitely check it out, and also link into the movie as well. Thank you very much, Anna, for being with us, and we wish you the best of luck.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Indie Beacon Radio, where creative souls can find help in marketing their creations. To learn more about Indie Beacon services, to be a guest on the show, or to advertise on our show, please visit our website at indiebeacon.com.